I'm live. What's up, peeps? Who we got on? We got Armand, Leandre, Gavin. What's going on, guys? How you doing? I'll let some other people get on real quick as we're waiting. I'll just give you guys a heads up. The quote of the day is determination will guide you through. Determination will guide you. And we're going to talk about, if you noticed, the thumbnail today. It was Klay Thompson injured. I know that's kind of like a bad luck sign, but I thought it was just a great picture. But that's what I'm going to talk about today is all the things that can go wrong with the NBA comeback. And I emailed some of your parents earlier, yesterday, and I asked them who's down to play this summer, like who wants to play, and a few of them got back to me saying yes, but then a few got back to me saying no. I'm going to add them all up. And if we can get 5 players, we're going to go. All right. And we're going to go by plane to Oklahoma, to Atlanta. I don't know if the LA one will happen because California seems to be like the last one to open. And because California is probably going to be the last one to open, I don't think there will be any local games this summer. So that's why I'm trying to really make these away games happen. We're going to see. All right. But again, I put out the filler email. So if your parents didn't get it, make sure just ask them if they got the email and what their decision is. All right. And it could be whatever. I'll understand any answer at all. Like, I don't mind. I understand the dangers in doing this. I understand, the sadness in not doing it. But I was getting, so many text messages from people saying, "Are we going to start basketball? Are we going to start basketball?" And I was like, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not a scientist, but enough people asked me to make me say, okay, let me ask everyone else. So that's me asking everyone else. And I will have the answer for everyone on Monday to see what we're going to do. But I already have my tickets and Kendrick's tickets to all the locations that we're going to play this summer. I'm even opening it up to non-elite team players, just anyone, because I mean the ship's going down, right? Like, we need someone. So I mean, it's just a very, very strange time. So I can break the rule this time, basically. So like, anyone, if you want to play basketball, just join. All right. So again, I put out the email to everyone. You can check with your parents. But anyway, let's start this thing for our reals. Determination will guide you through. Determination will guide you through. We have a move. It's a crossover move, and I tell people to keep the ball down low by their knee. And I say, throw your knee first and then have the ball follow it. I say, have your knee be the bodyguard to your ball. So that your knee's here and the ball's here. Your knee goes first and the ball goes right behind it. So if the ball's too high, someone's gonna steal it. But if your knee goes first, your knee's very hard, they can't really steal it. And you go right through people, and then you guide your ball through. And I tell them this knee is like a bodyguard, and you're like the star, or the ball's like the star in this scenario. And you let the bodyguard go first to clear the way, get out of the way, and then you follow him easily, right? Well, for this, determination is just one of the key attributes that you need in life. You need skill, you need mental strength, you need all this stuff, right? But determination should lead the way. Your determination is basically how bad that do you want something? How badly do you want it? And if you lead with that, if the first thing that you think about is how badly do I want this, and that's always the thing that leads you into doing things that you want, you're going to be successful a large part of the time, because that will clear a lot of the way. Because a lot of kids, or a lot of people, they don't want things enough. All right, they just don't want it enough. So have determination be your bodyguard. All right, and as for basketball, again, I think that the league is determined to come back. They are determined. They are moving things from side to side. They're building houses, like just for the whole Disney World thing. They're gonna make this happen. It's crazy. But again, I have to ask you guys, because they're doing all this different stuff, how will you guys feel? And I literally want answers in the comment section. How will you feel about the champion? Will you feel that the champion is really the champion? Or will you feel like they don't really deserve the championship because it was such a weird year? Like, will you not count this team that wins this year on the same level as the teams that have won in the history of the NBA? Is this a more special one or a less special one because it was such a weird season? I want to know what you guys think. So let me know, and I'll bring it up later on. All right. Next thing we have is our elementary drills. All right. Again, our book Limitless Limitless Hoops. Limitless Hoops. It's available on limitlesshoops.com. I put it together, again, just to guide you guys through, like a bodyguard. And I want you guys to just swear by it. If you guys do that, you'll be ahead of so many kids. Who do we have? If Armand says if it's OKC when they deserve, but if it's any other team wins, less impressed. I hear that. So if your favorite team wins, obviously they deserved it. If not, then oh yeah, screw that. It was a fake championship. I think that's most people's answers right there. All right, for the elementary school drill though, going with this was a good one. All right, it's alley one-on-one. All right, alley one-on-one. I call it the alley because an alley is a thin space between two buildings. All right, I'm sure you guys knew that, but I'm just telling you. And because of that, I count the sideline of the court, the sideline, like not the middle of the court, but on the side, and the 5 feet from the side. That's an alley. Usually there's like a line too, like a volleyball line or something like that. So I take a narrow space and I have you guys dribble in between it, going zigzag dribble. And you have a defender who's trying to knock the ball out of your hand. You can't leave the alley. So it's a very narrow time. Now for a real game, you can go for the entire court, but some people can still guard you, right? So we like to make this thing harder. So we put you in a tiny spot, and then we make you go back and forth. So you have to cross the ball over behind your back, or spin, or cross over in front of their face, and you have to try to get to half court. If they steal the ball once, they give it back to you. If they steal it twice, they give it back to you. If they steal it 3 times, you lose. So if you make it to half court successfully without the ball getting stolen 3 times, then you go one-on-one from half court, and you try to score on them. If they beat you, and they steal it from you 3 times, then once you get to half court, then they go on offense, so they can steal your turn. Then when you get to the other side of the court, you go again on the opposite side of the sideline, and then it's their turn. I like this drill because it's pretty competitive, but it makes the game seem easier because we put you guys in a small spot and made it really, really hard, right? And it shows your desire, again, shows how badly that you want it. How low can you get the ball? On defense, how badly do you want that ball? I mean, the guy's not allowed to go right by it because he has to touch the sides at least five times. He has to turn at least five times. So on defense, you really get to sink your teeth into them. So I like this drill a lot. And, in the end, it's a great creator of a point guard because point guards need to be able to get the ball up through all the pressure. All right. And speaking of pressure again, the NBA is going to be in a bubble. They keep calling it a bubble. And now that we're getting closer to it, everyone seemed down with it until players started speaking up. Now players are speaking up, and there's some concerns about the bubble because once you're in the bubble, you can't leave the bubble. And the players' concerns, I watched a few podcasts about it. They said that they would rather be at their house to be safe from, the coronavirus. But then also because, their house, they get to control everything. They're not sure what's going to happen there. They know that the NBA isn't like a medical profession. They're just the NBA. Are they going to really keep everyone safe? And on top of that, what if they want to see outside friends and family? They're not allowed to. You can't come in, you can't leave. And, even though Disney World's a huge place, it's not the entire world. And for these NBA guys who make millions of dollars, they're probably used to traveling whenever they want. So they're going to feel very restrictive. So it's kind of ironic that the people that really, really want this world to reopen, once it gets reopened, the only way to get basketball back is to close them off. And it's like, oh no. So the people really, really want the NBA just to start up. Let's start up. Let's go. Well, the only way that the NBA can start up is if they are restricted like everyone else was restricted before. And it's funny because these people probably are going to want to push that on the NBA, even though it's the same thing that they didn't like for themselves. So I feel the struggle. We're going to see what's going to happen. I think they're going to just try to do it and see if they said any player who doesn't want to do it doesn't have to do it. So I'm guessing that means that no big time players have really said anything bad about it. So we will see what happens after that. All right. Next thing we have is our middle school drill. The middle school drill. It is the adaptation one. All right. Baseline out of bounds for shots. Baseline out of bounds for shots. This drill has you're on the baseline taking the ball out of bounds. We have our box set. all right, with two people on the box and two people on the elbows, all right, and one person taking the ball out. We don't even have plays for this, really. We just have like like maybe 10 different ones that we kind of give you ideas, but we want you guys to read the defense, all right, to screen across when they're not there, and then or like screen up, or you can have one person screen and then get screen, right? And there's so many options that you can do for this. We like you guys to be smart and read the defense. But for these, we will give you 3 different ways to screen. So we can screen and then shoot shots. So the person out of bounds actually has 2 balls in his hand. So you can throw it to one person, then throw it to another, and then we'll rotate. So we'll practice the shot and the pass from the different plays. And you do this because defense on baseline out of bounds is in a really bad position. They have their back to the ball or their back to the basket. There's no in between, or their back to the players. They can't see the ball, the basket, and the player that they're guarding at the same time. It's pretty impossible, and let alone all 5 players can't do that. And now, so there's always a way to beat them. You can screen them from behind. Like if one person is guarding one of the 4 people on the court, one of the 3 people isn't being seen by that one person. That person needs to be the person screening up. So it's a lose-lose situation if you can do it right for the defense. So it's a complete offensive advantage, all right? And it's a time that you guys should definitely score, all right? I mean, I would even say to the point where a smart team would just throw the ball off someone's leg to make it go out of bounds on the baseline, and they could win a lot of games that way. All right. What is a bubble? The bubble is just a bubble is anywhere that you're trapped inside. You're trapped inside a bubble. Like, I can't leave Disney World, even though it's nice. We can't leave, so it becomes a bubble. So people don't like the bubble filling. Good question. All right, and also. The injuries. That's why I put Klay Thompson on the front cover of this thumbnail. Injured. The injuries are going to go up because players have rust. Players haven't played in a while. You guys too. You guys haven't played in a while. So when you play again, chances are like your body's not quite ready for it. So you have to come back slowly and like that. And also, like, especially when you come back, if it's already playoff time, that's the highest level of playing, that's when injuries happen a lot. So in the history of the league, whenever players come back like too fast, they get injured. So this is a whole league coming back. And then if injuries for 400 people, about like, maybe 30 get injured for the year, chances are it's going to be a lot more than that coming back. So again, I don't know how many injuries happen per year, but whatever the number is, divided by however many games they have left, that number will definitely rise. But it's all about who gets injured. And so the players should really start pre-planning for that and protecting their legs by strengthening. You guys should do the same thing. Make sure that you guys are in tip-top shape. So lift, maybe get outside and run. You don't want to come back tired. Oh, I haven't ran in 2 months. Oh, I haven't done this in 2 months. You're going to get injured because you'll be running differently, all right? Because if you run, like, let's say, like regularly, your body's used to certain steps. But now if you're always tired, now you're kind of leaning like this, right? And you start running differently. So now your knee, even though it was healthy and you're healthy, but because you were running differently, now your knee isn't used to it. All of a sudden your knee, boom, gets hit like in a weird way, all right? So injuries are crazy, all right? And so they have to really watch out for that kind of stuff too. As for our high school drill, right here, for our high school drill, where are we on this one? This is a good one as well, the Olympic drill, right? This is the fan favorite. Whenever we do this at practice, or whenever I did that practice for high school, for college, overseas, people love this drill, right? I like it because it's complicated. There's 2 teams on both sides of the court. One team on this side, one team on this side. They're both at half court. They put 2 people on defense. This team puts 3 people on offense. The offense comes at the defense like this. Right when they cross by half court, this team's third person at half court runs to the middle of half court and then tries to catch up. So you're only 3-on-2 advantage is only for a few seconds. And after they shoot the ball, these 3 now will come back against this team's 2 players down here. And they will keep rotating like that. The confusion of it is because of the variables involved. So variables are like when you add one thing. So like 5-on-5, okay, cool. Or this one 3-on-3, cool. I understand that. But now 3-on-3 with 3 other people on the side. Okay, I understand that. And only only 2 people are on first, and then one person comes on next. Oh, I understand that. Oh, and there's this rule, and there's this rule, and after a while, you're like, that's so many variables. You have to think so much, and you're doing that in a fast break environment, a 3-on-2. So you guys should score right away. So now you're being pressured. I love the amount of variables in this because it makes you think, and it's a lot like a game. Since there's so many different things happening at the same time, you're like, your mom came to a game for the first time in 2 years, you have to impress her, or like maybe an injury happened, or maybe you're playing against like your best friend on the other team, or maybe you forgot all the plays because you're nervous. There's so many variables happening in real life, anyways, that this is a great simulation for basketball games. All right, and talking about variables, they keep adding variables to the NBA. For variables for the NBA, this was very simple in the beginning. It was like, yes, we're going to come back on July 30th, and everything was cool. But then all of a sudden, one guy was like, I'm not sure about this. I think it was Damian Lillard. He goes, well, what about the teams who have a chance to get in, who don't have a chance to get in the playoffs right away? He goes, if that's the case, I'm not playing. And they're like, oh my God. So they changed everything for him. But then people were concerned about safety. So they, oh my God, okay, change everything for you. Then they were concerned about money because the Atlanta Hawks would make so much money by putting their games on TV. So they're like, oh my God, what should we do about that? So you start adding variables. Now some players are feeling trapped. Like, oh man. So when you add variables to things, everything gets so confusing. And I suggest in your lives, when everything starts to get confusing, to simplify it and to order your variables and to say what matters the most. And for me, but I'm crazy, okay? Don't be like me. I love basketball so much that as long as I'm not like guaranteed death, I'm playing. That's like my first thing in life. It's like, okay, basketball. Everything else can be whatever. That's why this quarantine was like nothing. I was like, can we still do basketball? But you can't do it perfect. You can't do it inside the gym. You can't do it like this. The state's holding you back. You're not going to make as much money. Okay. Those things are second, third, fourth, fifth. All I want is one. It's people who get greedy and they want all 10 who don't do anything in life. Because let's say that if I was so offended by not being able to get inside a gym and I was like, screw it, I would just quit my whole program and all of a sudden none of us have basketball. All right. You may not get everything in life, but you can get something. All right. So go after that something. Pick your something and go after it. And just, it can't be 3 or 4 things. It can't be like, I want to make the NBA and make money. And I want the girls and I want to start and I want, no. Pick one and just do it. All right. Anyways, next thing we have is our homework for this month is the scissor wrap dribble. Now, every day I have asked you guys who's done the scissor wrap dribble in the comment section. Every day, no one said anything. Now, I don't look at the videos until Saturday. And all of a sudden, I watched one of the videos, just happenstance, yesterday, and I see Finn did the scissor wrap dribble. But in the video, Finn is going, does John see it now? You going to see this one, John? I've been posting every single day. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about, Finn? Finn Kaufman? All right, what are you talking about, dude? Like, I haven't watched the videos yet. I asked you, did you do the scissor wrap dribble? No one responded in the comment section. So who else has done the scissor wrap dribble? I'm asking now, besides Finn. Say it now. So Finn Kaufman has been doing it. You are spinning your body a little too much. All right. You want to eventually do it by standing on a line with one foot. And then when you step forward, step on that same line and then do it like that. That's the hardest one. I was saying it in the comments. Oh, you were? I must have missed it. Okay. All right. If I missed it, my bad. My bad. All right. So I see it in the comment section now. My bad, Finn. Okay. You win. All right. Again, speaking about that is talking about just achievements in general. The final word for the NBA will come in a few hours. All right, so I'll talk about it on the show tomorrow. They're going to come up with exactly what they're going to do. So they've heard everyone's opinion. They've met with people. They've dealt with Disney, everything like that, and they said that they will come up with their exact final opinion tonight. All right, and if they're going to call it off, it's going to be tonight. But I don't think they're going to call it off. I think they're going to definitely do it. All right, but we'll find out, and that will be our final show tomorrow of the week talking about this. All right, I don't know what they're gonna do. If you have any guesses, maybe you guys can put that in the comment section if you want. But would you guys want to see those games? Are you guys hyped? I mean, it'd be one of the first sports people to really come back in full bore. They're talking about like baseball coming back, how hard that is. If some of the players want to come back because how much money will they be making? Is that worth it? But then baseball's at the start of their season, so they have no money for the year, so they're probably more likely to come back. All right. Gavin wants to see an NBA game. Yeah, that would be cool, huh? Especially in this weird environment. I think interesting stuff like that will all be fun. I don't want the Lakers to win. I kind of want them to not do it because I don't want the Lakers to win. You're such a hater. All right, no. If you want your competition to lose, you got to beat them fair and square. All right, you got to beat LeBron. You got to beat LeBron. Sorry. All right. Let's see. We have. Where are we now? Oh, we're on movies. All right. For our movie that I'm going to bring up. No, we're not on movies. I'm sorry. We are on the challenge. All right. For today's challenge, I'm choosing the third grade challenge. And the third graders, if we have any, about to be third graders, I think maybe Leandre. They are on day 10 of week 4. No, I'm sorry, day 10 of a 4-week trick shot challenge, trick shot and skill shot challenge. But today's thing is to pick one of the trick shots and do it for 5 minutes. It's not that hard, right? You guys can actually all do that if you want to tonight. Pick one of the trick shots. Yes, you, Leandre. I think they should give the NBA championship to the 5th seed in the West. Whoever the 5th seed happens to be. If it happens to be OKC, cool. You're right. Armand, we're going to OKC for one of our trips. Maybe that's how you can talk your mom into letting you travel this summer. OKC, we only go there every 2 years. So, I mean, this is your chance to meet your people. Anyway, Steven Adams said he's going to hang out with us. He said whoever's on our team can come over to his house. But again, I don't know if you want to do that, Armand. But whatever. We only need one more person to play. We have 4. I believe we have 4. Like 3.5. We have 3.5. So anyways, the trick shots are fun, but they're hard to pull off. All right. I think you should give it to the worst team in the NBA. Trick shots are fun, but they're hard to pull off. I used to love trick shots. It kept me in the gym longer. It made the game more fun. I would like do it behind my back, things like that. I added a trick shot to our list of drills to do for our isolation workout. The trick shot that I added today is double bounce shot. So you get 2 balls and try to bounce them both up and in. So you just have 1 minute to do the double bounce shot. All right. So the double bounce shot is one of our drills. The other drills are, what are they? They are pro hop, going baseline, bounce over your head, right in the middle, and score. They are reverse layups, so drive and baseline. You can do it every reverse if you want, but just a 2-step reverse layup is what I'm looking for. The scissor wrap dribble to shot. So we're doing the scissor wrap dribble. Everyone's gonna be doing it during the isolation drill. Scissor wrap dribble and then to a shot, just to add some fun. Then the double bounce trick shot. Then the jab to Kobe fake fin jumper. So that's jab, between the leg, jump, spin until your back's to them. Then you shake, and then you go either way for the actual shot. So it's the the jab to Kobe fake spin jumper. So that's a lot. We'll talk about it later at the actual thing. Maybe have Ben run through it. When you guys do that stuff, you can keep your cameras on Ben. I think you can pin it. All right, so you can always just watch him. But if you're watching and you're not sure about it, you should be doing the dribbling drill or the sideline drill during the first one. So you do your sideline drill as you watch Ben. And then the second time, you can go do the thing. So if you don't know what you're doing, then you should just wait until the second time. All right, and just as you dribble, stare. Don't just stare. No, dribble and stare. Anyways, so that's the thing. And then talking about the COVID risk in the NBA, some people are saying that it's more safe since, they test everyone right when they come into the bubble. Everyone must be tested. And then anyone who catches it must leave. So part of the reason why it spread in our country so fast is because everyone couldn't be tested. It wasn't possible. And then we lost track of who had it. So this one is a very isolated place. It should be more safe. But someone else said that that's not how people feel. People feel like they want the control. Like if they have their family, they know everyone that their wife and their kids have talked to. they can keep it under their control. And people like to have their own control. When things are Disney's control, now you don't know if that security guard is sneaking people in, or like if he has like a girlfriend that he's hanging out with on the side, okay, who sees everybody every single day and comes in, right? So when you have more and more people to trust, you feel less trustworthy of that thing. So there's two different ways to look at it. Either it's more safe in there, or the feeling of less safeness might get to them. All right. Anyways, the movie of the day is the 10th grade movie, all right, $1 Million Baby. Now, this movie is very interesting because as I'm watching it in the theater, probably because the voiceover is the same, but the only thing I thought of was Shawshank Redemption. All right, Shawshank Redemption is the greatest movie of all time. I've known people who don't like the movie Shawshank Redemption, but they still admit, yes, that's the greatest movie of all time. It is the greatest movie of all time, Shawshank Redemption. But when I was watching this movie, $1 Million Baby, it's a boxing movie about a female boxer. As I'm watching it, I was like, yes, this is up there as the greatest movie of all time. And I saw Gavin loves Shawshank. It's very good. So this movie's just like Shawshank, but it's for boxing, female boxing. I mean, like, no one goes to prison, but it's like, it's such a great movie. 95% of it. And then 5%, you're like, oh my God. And it kind of, I won't say it ruined it, but it made it different. It took it out of the greatest movie category for me. But I was like, dude, you made the greatest movie of all time. And then you just went like that, but like, it was still good. So heads up for that movie. I won't tell you anything else about it. It will spoil it, but like, it's an amazing movie. It'll motivate you to do so much in life. It's a great, great movie. $1 Million Baby is a 10th grade movie. So if you're too young, don't watch it. Or if your parents let you watch it, you can do that too. So you can ask them. They've probably seen it too. But again, 95%, the greatest movie of all time. The other 5% brought it down a notch or two. I can't tell you. If you guys watch that movie, please let me know what you think about it through a video review. Like, tell me what you think about it. Maybe add spoilers too. And speaking of movies, I think someone is going to make a movie about this NBA year. It's going to be a very special one. It's going to be a very weird like thing. Someone's going to make a movie about it. And it's going to be a fun thing. I don't know. I think it's going to be extremely interesting. Like maybe 30 years from now, your kids will be asking you about this time. Like, were you there during the Disney NBA thing? You'd be like, oh yeah, that was crazy. LeBron averaged 100 points a game and won it for the Lakers. What? All right. You never know. Whatever the movie is going to be, it's going to be dope. Our motivational story of the day is extremely interesting. All right. So these books, all right, I've been working on it for like 7 years. I established all the content 1 year ago. There's not one word added that I didn't have a year ago. Okay. I printed them. When did I print them? Maybe a few months ago. They're already out. I handed them out over a couple of months ago. They're already out. The quote of the day is, all your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. All your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. The NBA had no plans to come back 1 month ago. My book was already out. They had no plans. I planned last week to talk about the NBA this week. I did not look ahead, and all of a sudden, that quote that I just said, all your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them, before they even decided to go to Disney World. That quote is by Walt Disney. What are the odds of that? It's one of their mottos and stuff like that. It's a magical thing. All your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. And I definitely agree with that one. Because, I mean, if you don't even go for your dream, you're not going to get it, period. Right? And a lot of people in life don't go for their dreams, so they're just not going to get it. And so since no one's going for their dreams, really, because they're just too scared, if you decide to go for your dream, and your dream is like to become, I don't know, a karaoke star, whatever, and that means that you're in a profession now where everyone else is probably just doing their job. They're not going after their dreams either. So you're in a profession where you are competing against people who don't have that dream. So now you have all your passion, and the other people are just doing it. They're just doing it to do it. You have every chance in the world to be better than them now. So Go after what you want to do. And chances are a lot of people don't want to do it. So go after your dreams in life. And for speaking of dreams, there are a lot of weird scenarios happening with this NBA thing. And one of the weirdest are the not injuries, but the lack of injury. All right. So there's teams like the Nets who might get Kyrie and Kevin Durant back. So they're at the bottom of the heap, and then they might get those two back. Now they're the best team. But if the season ended 2 months ago, they would have lost. And then another team like that is the Pacers. They just got back Victor Oladipo, but he was kind of like rusty. Now he's less injured, and everyone's rusty. So now he's Victor Oladipo again. But no one more so than the Blazers. They get back 2 All-Stars. Their team is going to be more cohesive. They might have a chance to win the entire thing. They have a very stacked team because they were allowed to come back from injury. So that changes everything. And just to hate on you guys who don't like the Lakers, 2 words for you guys: DeMarcus Cousins. All right, DeMarcus Cousins might come back. All right, and if the Lakers have him added, I don't know. So, anyways, I'll see you guys for the isolation workout that we're about to have in 30 minutes. Make it safe to the houses that you're going to. If you have extra room, let people know. If you need some extra space, let people know. Communicate, and don't forget our drills for the day. Watch Ben's basketball. We'll talk about them, and I will see you guys soon. And tomorrow is our last day of talking about the NBA. We will find out what they're going to do. All right. And also, thanks for watching my my systemic racism video. You guys all commented. That was awesome. I mean, I spent a lot of time on that. To see those comments was really heartfelt. So I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my ideas. And who knows, maybe it might gain some traction. Maybe I might have to lower my 50% number to 10%, whatever. I'm down for anything. As long as there's an answer for these problems in our lives, that's all that I want. So I was just presenting it to people as an idea. But for you guys to watch my idea, that meant a lot, especially when the video was so long. Anyways, talk to y'all later. Peace.